From red carpets and blinding camera flashes to 3 hots on a cot in a cold, dark cell. These are former child stars who have gone from Hollywood to handcuffs. Step into the darker side of the frame as we uncover the shocking tales of former child stars who chose to travel down a less than stellar path. I wouldn't be good at my job if I didn't talk about the rise and fall of Edward Furlong. Once a shining star in Hollywood, Furlong's story is one of both promise and tragedy.
Why the hell did you do that?
Because you told me to.
From his breakout role in Terminator 2 to his powerful performance in American History X, Edward was poised for greatness. But as we know now, his life took a dark and disturbing turn. With multiple arrests for domestic violence, Edward's descent from the top of the industry to the depths of infamy is a cautionary tale of what can happen when fame and fortune spiral completely out of control. As the years passed and his star power faded, Ed's personal demons took over, and his life became plagued by legal trouble and scandals. Despite attempts at rehabilitation and a resurgence in his career, he's continued to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. The once young and seemingly innocent child star has now become a symbol of the dangers of fame and the difficulties of navigating the entertainment industry as an adult. His story serves as a reminder of the importance of seeking help and support, no matter how successful one may appear on the outside. No matter who we are, we should never be afraid to ask for help. Speaking of being afraid to ask for help, enter Macaulay Culkin. Whatever happened to Macaulay Culkin, the lovable, mischievous star of the Home Alone franchise? He captivated audiences with his charming grin and quick wit, and not only became a household name, but a beloved figure in the world of entertainment.
Do I have an uncle?
Unfortunately.
Holy smokes. He's cooking our garbage.
As the years went by, though, Macaulay disappeared from the spotlight, leaving fans to wonder about his whereabouts and his well-being. Suddenly, in 2007, shocking news broke. Macaulay was arrested in Oklahoma City, charged with possession of controlled substances. The once innocent child star was now facing the consequences of a life spiraling out of control. The question remains, what led Macaulay down this path, and will he ever be able to turn his life around? Macaulay is far from the only child star to go astray. We've got to talk about Jake Lloyd. Jake brought Anakin Skywalker to life in Star Wars Episode 1. The story of Lloyd's journey is one of intrigue and tragedy. As a child, Jake captivated audiences with his talent and charisma.
All my life, since I was very little. 3, I think. My mom and I were sold to Gardula the Hutt, but she lost us betting on the pod race.
Leading him to become one of the most recognizable faces in the galaxy far, far away. But as years passed, like Culkin, Jake disappeared from the limelight, leaving many fans wondering if he was even still alive. And then in 2015, some unexpected news broke. Jake was arrested for reckless driving and resisting arrest. The once promising young Star Wars actor was now in the grips of a personal crisis and falling from grace faster than the Millennium Falcon. Jake's mother later revealed that he was struggling with a very serious mental health disorder, schizophrenia. Despite his setback, Jake continues to fight for his recovery with Jedi strength, hoping to find a path forward in life. His story is yet another reminder that no matter how far we may fall, there's always the possibility of redemption and renewal. Speaking of mental health disorders and personal crises, let's talk about Shia LaBeouf. Oh man, where do I even start? A talented and charismatic actor, Shia rose to fame on the Disney Channel show Even Stevens, and his personal story is one that's taken many twists and turns over the years. From humble beginnings, Shia seemed to have it all: talent, looks, and charisma. He fast became one of the most beloved child stars of his generation, but all was not well behind closed doors. With each passing year, Shia grew more erratic and unpredictable, engaging in questionable behaviors and a string of incidents. The once lovable Shia was clearly struggling inside. In 2005, the world learned he'd been charged with assault with a deadly weapon after threatening his neighbor with a knife. The seemingly innocent child star was facing serious criminal charges, leaving fans and the media alike stunned. It was hard to believe that the sweet child actor who once brought laughter and joy to millions on the Disney Channel could end up in such a dark and dangerous place. As you can see, the real-life stories of child stars don't always have happy endings. Case in point, a child star story filled with sadness, the story of Amanda Bynes. Like Shia, Bynes was once the darling of the Disney Channel, a young actress shining brightly with infectious energy and raw talent. She worked tirelessly to prove that a child star could live a clean, drama-free life and was determined to not only build a successful career, but be a positive role model. Sounds great, right?
I just want to tell y'all how happy and perky I am to be joining the cast of all that. We're all gonna have such fun.
I'm sure we are.
Okay, now everybody gather around.
But it's too bad her plans crashed and burned. In 2012, things took a dark turn. Reports surfaced of erratic behavior, legal troubles, starting with an arrest for DUI. The news was shocking, and fans couldn't help but wonder what had gone wrong with Amanda. Unfortunately, her story only gets worse. She's arrested again a few years later for starting a fire in someone's driveway. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Incidents like these were a far cry from the Amanda fans knew and loved. In the end, she was forced into a mental health facility for treatment. The once promising actress now faced an uncertain future, leaving many to question what had happened to the bright young starlet they thought they knew. And that brings us to our next tragic child star story, the case of Lindsay Lohan. Lohan captured the hearts of audiences everywhere, but in a sad turn of events, her journey went from child star to troubled actress. It's a cautionary tale that left many with a sense of sadness and regret.
This is so freaky.
They're both unique in the same way.
That's my mom. That's my dad. And you and I are like sisters. Hallie.
According to reports, Lindsay's downward spiral began in 2007 when she was first arrested for a DUI. Tragically, this was just the start of her constant run-ins with the law. Shortly after, she was arrested again, this time not only for another DUI, but for possession of drugs as well. The years that passed were filled with legal battles, scheduled court appearances, and the additional charges for missing multiple court dates. Things came to a head in 2011 when she was accused of stealing a necklace, which resulted in jail time, further tarnishing her once spotless reputation. But of all of the child star stories we looked at today, none are more shocking than that of Ricardo Medina. In fact, this one's downright gruesome. The world was shocked when news broke of Medina's involvement in a brutal act of violence. We grew up watching Medina as the Red Rangers in Power Rangers Wild Force. The thought of him committing such a heinous crime was impossible to fathom and shocked the world. 4 years later, in 2015, the truth about what really happened finally came out. According to multiple reports, Ricardo was involved in a deadly altercation with his roommate, which ended in tragedy when Ricardo used a sword to defend himself. His roommate died. The incident sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment industry, and the reality of what had happened began to set in.
A Hollywood actor has been sentenced now for attacking his roommate with a sword and killing him. A judge in Lancaster sentenced this man, Ricardo Medina, to 6 years in prison.
After pleading guilty, Ricardo was sentenced to 6 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter, a harsh punishment for the once beloved star. It was a horrifying turn of events for Ricardo and his fans, who grew up watching him play a hero on the screen. His journey from the Red Ranger to a convicted murderer serves as a cautionary tale. There you have it, folks. From red carpets to the prison yard, those were former child stars who went from Hollywood to handcuffs.